Hey, what's going on there, Film Fights with Friends fans? I am Paul Veracci.
I'm Stephen Kepfer.
And we have an awesome episode to bring to you today.
Yeah, man. Evelyn Vaccaro.
One of our first, bestest, longest
Friends in the business.
in the business.
And we're talking about fire and water, two polar opposites.
Two polar opposites.
That are not as opposite as you might think.
Especially when it comes to safety.
Yeah, but she really, the one thing that I didn't think of really that ties them together is the controlling of your breath. When you're on fire and when you're underwater.
Mm-hmm.
And how her expertise in free diving and breath control have really helped her in the fire burn business.
Well, and the water, excel in both.
Yeah, totally.
When we get into the interview and you guys listen, you will hear that when she talks about fire and or water, breath control is the key component into being successful in both of these.
Yeah, totally. It's a great interview. Can't wait for you guys to see it, man.
What have you been up to, buddy?
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, last week or a week or so ago, based on when this episode will air, the show that I doubled Jonathan Banks is now on Netflix. The Beast in Me.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, just premiered last week.
Nice.
Yeah, that was such a fun job working for...
What'd you do on that?
Doubling Jonathan Banks?
No, but what did you do?
I
know you doubled him, but what'd you do?
Watch the show. I had to do a pretty cool...
How am I supposed to know it's you if you did a good job doubling it, dick?
You're not. Anything that Jonathan Banks that he does in the show that looks cool, I'll just tell you I did. I will say this. There was a day on set. I was on a couple episodes, not the whole. It's not a heavy duty stunty show, but I was on a couple episodes, and there was one episode with Matthew Rhys where I got to just hang out. We've talked about it before. One of the perks of this job is just to watch masters at work.
Yeah.
There's this scene, and I'm not going to spoil it, where I got to watch him work, and it was insane. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good that I was like, I'm almost glad I'm not in the scene because I'm just enjoying watching Matthew Rhys work.
Yeah.
He was so amazing.
Sometimes you're glad to not be in the scene because everyone else in the scene is so amazing.
Well, yeah, that's the imposter syndrome speaking. Like, I can't keep up with that guy. You know what I mean? But definitely check out the show. It's on Netflix. The Beast in Me. It's with Claire Danes, Matthew Rhys, Tim Guinea, who, by the way, in one of my stunts, he actually has to kind of come to my aid. He plays Jonathan Banks's son in the show. But I doubled Tim Guinea on Nosferatu. So it was very cool. We knew each other before, and it was the first time I was on set performing with someone that I had doubled on a different show.
And I'm not sure if you guys have listened to our previous episodes, and I'm not sure which episode it is, but Steve tells my favorite story ever about the greatest cock block in all of film history.
Oh, on Nosferatu?
On Nosferatu.
I'll save that for the martini shot.
Oh, man.
Which, by the way, everybody listening, we just literally came up with a new thing that we're going to be offering our Patreon subscribers.
Martini shot.
A martini shot. So we are going to do basically like a little 10-minute after action report after our interviews, like reactions from me and Paul that will be extra content for our Patreon subscribers.
And then for those of you who don't know, what is a martini shot? A martini shot is the last shot of the day.
Yeah.
So basically when they call martini over the walkie, everybody gets fucking excited.
Yeah, because
that means it's the last shot of the day. Everyone starts wrapping up. You're going to start hearing points behind you all over the place because everyone's going to start taking shit offset.
Yep.
So the martini shot is
the last shot of the day,
and it's a beautiful thing.
So Paul and I, we're going to do a quick wrap up reaction chat after each interview.
That's right.
That will only be available to our subscribers. So if you're not subscribing on Patreon, please do. We have lots of different tiers, lots of different perks.
$2 is our lowest tier, right?
$2 is our lowest tier. That will get you early access to our episodes, all the episodes. So definitely consider it. You guys, the Patreon subscribers that do subscribe to us, we are so grateful to you because that has allowed us to do things like buy our new mixing board, things like that. So you guys really are super important.
And if you love us enough to go beyond our Patreon member, you can become a sponsor of the show.
Yes, if you have a service or a business that you think our audience would be appreciative of.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to be honest with you. You can be an individual person with a hell of a lot of money and just been like, I would like to sponsor your show.
Yeah, if you like the
we
show.
will say, okay.
If you like the show, you can definitely jump on as we have associate producer credit if you want to financially sponsor the show.
Absolutely.
And with that, actually, you do get free tickets to all our live events and a lot of the same stuff the sponsors get. So it's if you dig the show and you want to help us stay alive, please do.
Absolutely. And my favorite sponsor,
with the caveat that we're not a nonprofit. Just
we are not we are not a nonprofit. Yes. That makes my eyes cross.
I am not. Just full disclosure, we're not accountants. So if you are getting a sponsorship through us, yeah, you can write that off for advertising. If you are just want to kick in and help us live because you are a patron of the arts.
And for those sponsors that are actually writing it off because you are our sponsors,
yes,
we love you.
Yeah, we totally
including us being Breakfall Studios and my favorite in the entire world because they help my ADD ass stay organized, which is Stunt Contact.
Stunt Contact, we love you. The best breakdown service in the business. There's not much else to say. If you're a stunt performer, you want the best breakdown. They've been around since like 1997.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be just a PDF newsletter. I remember subscribing to that. And now it's been upgraded to a digital version, and it's awesome. And everybody in this business, stunts or not, honestly, should subscribe to it.
And they send you weekly emails depending on your membership,
weekly or daily. Yeah. All the new productions dropping. It's great. Every day I get an email and I look through the list and look for new stuff.
And for those stunt people that are listening, look, even if you were like, oh, there's not always a stunt coordinator listed, it doesn't matter. There is a line to a stunt coordinator listed. There's always something. There's always a way.
Yep, totally.
And that's what Stunt Contact is great for.
And we have on December 20th, in just 2 weeks.
Oh, I can't wait.
We have our open mat,
yes,
mixer, and movie night.
Movie night.
Yeah. So if you are listening to this show, following us on socials, which you should be,
and you're in town for the holidays, or it just happens to be a night when you're free and you're a local.
Yeah, totally. We have at 11 a.m. here at the studio behind us that you see. We will have an open workout from 11 to 4. 4 o'clock, we'll have a little party starting with a mixer, BYOB, although we'll have some snacks and stuff. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to start a movie screening, which we haven't announced yet.
We haven't, and there's no point in telling you guys about it because when you hear about it, this will have already happened.
Yeah, so maybe we did announce it.
So cross your eyes.
I don't know, but we're letting some fans and followers vote or at least make suggestions, and then we'll see what we got.
I'm hoping they vote for something old timey because we've all seen the new stuff. So I like it when when we pick something old that half the gym hasn't seen yet.
I have an idea based on a future guest.
Ooh, what do you got, Poopy Pants?
I don't want to say. I don't want to give away our future guest because it's not confirmed yet.
I mean, how many people are involved with the movie, and how many different aspects of the film industry, job-wise, do we have on the show?
I will say that it is the best of the best movies.
Don't give it away, man.
Did I give anything away?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Anyway.
But yes, this is an awesome guest coming up. We can't wait.
Yeah, totally. So having said that, like us, follow us, subscribe us everywhere across social media. We are Film Fights Friends Pod. And think about Instagram. Think about TikTok. We're everywhere, man.
Think about them hard.
I don't know. Think about it.
What the fuck?
I was gonna say what I was gonna say is because all right, so I'm 3 beers in right now, but I was gonna say think about supporting us on Patreon is what I was gonna say. I just kind of stumbled.
Well, on that note, we're gonna stumble the fuck on out of here.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this awesome interview with Evelyn.
Here we go. Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Hi there.
We're so happy to have you on the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yay.
You and your crickets. Where are you?
I'm actually outside of Gillette Stadium right now. I'm a big Patriots fan, and Edelman's getting inducted today into the Hall of Fame. Didn't want to miss it, but there was no way I was going to miss this interview with you.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
We're
that's
more important.
funny. When you were saying before that you were part of, I thought you were saying because, oh my God, this is really crazy. I thought that you were coming home from working a stunt job and you were saying you were inducted into something, meaning that something happened to you on set.
Uh,
Okay, yes, I did come home from a job and came right back to Boston. I was on a job in Boston, got home, and came right back again. I was just there yesterday, so it's been a whirlwind of a few days.
oh, you're on the road. Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So we are here to talk about a couple of things, but let's start with the amazing Emmy nominated Fireburn that you did on FBI Most Wanted. Like, holy cow.
Head to toe, by the way.
Let me just say for the listeners, go to the show notes. We have the scene linked. You can watch the scene. You should pause right now, go watch this fire burn, and then come back and hit unpause and listen to the rest of this episode. Because that was insane, Evelyn. That was an insane fire burn.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. It was a real doozy, but it was great. I had a blast.
So
It was
You
good
literally
time.
had a blast.
Literally had a blast.
why don't you walk us through that day a little bit? Why don't you walk? Did you know what you were walking into when you got on set that day?
I did because stunt coordinators Declan Mulvey and Natasha Bambry, they are very clear in what they want and what they're looking for, what they need you to do. They want to make sure you feel comfortable. They want to make sure that you feel comfortable with the stunt team that they are providing. So I knew exactly what I was walking into, and I was super happy to do it because I know that I was going to be safe, supported, and I was going to succeed with them and the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And you have had. I'll put it this way. I guess here's my question for you. Why were you so comfortable in saying yes to this?
Well, I've done fire burns before. I did a fire burn recently for Tyler Perry Studios, and that one was a pretty big one as well. At that point, I knew I felt comfortable. I was working with Eric Linden and Danny Lee Boyer and Rob Mars and their crew, and I knew what it was going to take to do the next one because
Mm-hmm.
of that one. And on that one, I had to utilize complete breath hold from start to finish. And I knew that I had to do that on this next one, and this one was going to be much, much bigger. And I was prepared to do it.
I mean, for those listening who haven't seen the video, it starts with you inside. It was a mail truck, like a USPS truck. And there's a
Yes, it's
bomb, right? There's a bomb. It explodes inside the truck, and then you come out of the truck fully engulfed, like full body from head to toe, like what you've seen from days of old. No CGI, no
none.
digital enhancements. This was all practical, head to toe fire burn.
It was, and I'm so proud of that because of the fact that they didn't put any extra flames on me. There was nothing added in post-production. That was me fully engulfed in flames after having been lit by an explosion inside of a truck, which, by the way, was huge. The sound alone penetrated my body, and I'm on breath hold at that point. I was just completely doused in gas. I was soaking wet in gas, and that's what it took to be able to have that kind of fire burn. But I
Mm-hmm.
was also protected in a lot of layers in
Sure.
fire retardant layers, and I was well protected. So I would definitely not suggest that anybody try fire burns at home.
Well, this is
For
a
sure.
perfect point to let's take it back a little bit and let's get into your training that brought you up to be able to not only do a burn like this, but be so comfortable and have it be so fucking awesome that you were nominated
Well,
Oh,
nominated. Yeah, I
for an
mean,
Emmy.
nominated for best stunt performance.
So let's take it back to the
thank
beginning.
you.
What was your first experience with being lit on fire?
Well, let's take it back to how I can do those kinds of fire burns with breath hold. Breath
Sure.
hold started with my work, my skill set in water.
Mhm.
Water work is the first stunt job I've ever gotten in stunts. My official stunt paid stunt job was with water. And on that job, I had to utilize my breath hold, which started off with my recreational free diving. That was something that I've been doing since I was young, since 19 years old. Been doing
Just a little
recreational free
background.
diving.
Where are you from, by the way?
I'm a New York, I'm a Bronx girl.
Hell yeah.
So where the hell did you free dive?
Well, I fell in love with
East River.
a
East
beautiful
River.
island in the
Free dive
Bahamas.
15 feet?
It all started, when I was a kid. I went to Boys and Girls Club of America. I'm very grateful to them. The my swimming coaches there, they taught me how to dive. They taught me how to save myself if I ever got tired in the water, how to float on my back, how to float on my stomach, how to, just win a race, be confident in the water. So I've been swimming since I was 3, 4 years old.
Right.
And I also learned how to swim at Candlewood Lake in Connecticut. I did a lot of fun little races there as a kid. And then I took that and I decided to become a scuba diver. I'm, PADI rescue certified. I also got into free diving. And so you learn how to stay calm in the water. And there's something that we do that helps us kind of relax our hearts. And that's what I did the day of the fire burn. I was able to relax my heart, stay very calm. And I knew that throughout I was going to be very calm. When I was in that fire, my heart really never raced once. I was super, super calm. And it's because of the breath hold work that I do. It's because of the breathe ups that I do that helps calm the heart. And I use it pretty much on every stunt that I do, big or small. I always make sure that I calm my heart before I go into any stunt.
I was going to say, I feel like in athletic, to take a step outside of stunts and just as an athlete and as a trainer and as a coach, being able to control your heart rate and staying relaxed in high stress situations, like Steve and I, when we fight somebody, even when we're sparring in the gym with each other, the one thing we try and do is let them, whatever happens to us doesn't bother us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the mood. It doesn't change anything. And being able to control your breath in those situations is a pretty high skill level ability.
It's an interesting common denominator between a fire stunt and a water stunt that I think most people wouldn't think of. Is that, like, just looking at it from the outside, they wouldn't think of that ability to control your breath as something that I think they would assume that's the case in water. Probably not with fire, right?
Yes. Well, I did have to hold my breath from before the explosion. So about 10 seconds before they lit the explosion off in the truck, I was already on breath hold for 10 seconds because
So why early? Why, just so the audience knows, why did you
sure,
have to start early?
because I was at that very last moment, I was given an extra dose of gas.
Of
And
fuel.
so
And
that
you were
gas,
inside.
yes, inside the truck. And
So
so
it
you
was
don't want to
fumes only.
breathe that in. That can hurt your lungs.
Sure.
So I was on breath hold for that last 10 seconds before the explosion. The explosion happened, which is what lit me on fire. And at that very moment, all you see is I was just engulfed in flames inside the truck with very, very, very little visibility. But I knew where the exit was. I knew where I had to be. I knew where my spot was. I knew where the camera crew was, so that I knew how to keep everybody else safe as well as keeping myself safe. But I was on breath hold until the very end. When the fumes finally went out, I took one peek. It was like this big, I could see, and I could see the fumes settle. And finally I just came up and they pulled my mask off and I took my first breath.
So how long do you think that was about? I mean, I'm sure you've timed it, or was
Yeah.
it like give or take a minute and a half, something like that?
Well, I have to go back and look. Please forgive
Yeah.
me. I know that what they used in the TV show seemed a lot quicker than what the
Sure.
behind the scenes show. I was
Yeah.
lit for quite a long time in the behind the scenes, which is I'm
Yeah.
so glad that was captured. So, let's just go with 45. I'm not
Okay. Go
100% sure, but it could have been longer and I could
ahead.
be cheating myself right now.
Yeah.
I would say the average person, to take a big deep breath and hold their breath, I would be surprised if they could get to a minute to a minute and 15 seconds without wondering what,
without the stress,
without the stress
and pressure of all that,
being able to stay calm.
Yeah. Well, there's two types of breath holds. You can do a static breath hold when you're nice and relaxed, calming the heart, staying nice and relaxed and not moving. And then there's dynamic. As static breath hold, people can hold their breath a lot longer because their heart's not racing. And then
when
you get
your body's not
into
using oxygen.
exactly. And then you get into dynamic where you're moving and you're doing things. Your heart's should be racing more. But again, I was able to keep mine quite calm and could stay up even longer.
So,
if I needed to.
In short, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but basically, if you were to throw this out there quickly, if you were to stay calm, you could probably hold your breath for a longer time than if you were active.
Yes, I can do a 3-minute static hold. Dynamic, I've done by accident a little long because while I was under the water at Black Panther 2, doing a very big, scene, I never heard the word cut.
Was this the birthing scene?
No, this was another scene that won me that role. So I was under about 18 feet of water maybe, and I never heard the word cut, and I didn't want to ruin the shot. So I stayed under as long as I could, and finally I came up, and they said, "Evelyn, you can come up now." And I heard a couple of giggles, but I got a really big applaud from the crew, and some people were just walking by me with their eyes really wide, so I knew I did a good job that day, but it was mind over matter. I didn't know that they called cut, and I just stayed under because I thought, I'm not going to ruin this shot. This is too big of a chance for me right now. And that won me a big role in Black Panther 2 as the doula.
Got you as the doula for the birth scene.
Yes.
Which made the trailer.
Yeah.
Yes.
As far as I could remember, not only did it make the trailer, it made the first thing that they ran when they had enough footage to run something for Black Panther. I just remember being like, ba 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 ba. They started shooting this, and then that was the scene.
Yeah, they did. They did. I'm very proud of that one. Very proud.
And so back to FBI. So how do you, just for the listeners and for people who aren't as familiar, and also for us, but what were the steps that led up to the final, like, did you do a walkthrough without a burn? And like, so tell us about the whole process. Like, you show up to set and bam, what happens?
So the first thing we do is talk to the coordinators, of course. Everything goes through them. All the direction that I received goes through Natasha and Declan. Then I spoke to the director, and the director told me what he wanted from me. And then it was prep time. I got prepped by the fire team. And after that, they walked me over to where it was happening. And this was in a neighborhood. This was a regular suburban neighborhood, actually only 5 minutes or 10 minutes from where I grew up. So it was kind of neat to be back there.
To put a pin on it. So like, just to put a pause. So for the listeners, so prep involves you putting on layers and gel and more layers. Like tell everybody what you actually had to wear to do this, what you were wearing.
Well, I do have to wear my own, under layers.
Your base layer. Yeah.
Yeah, the base layers.
What are those base layers?
Well, I've been asked not to tell secrets. I don't know. This is a funny place to be.
So basically, what I'm trying to get at is that is not, we're not talking about base layers like when you're cold out.
No, it's like a Nomex or something.
Yeah, the Nomex.
It's a fire retardant base layer. That's what I was trying to get at.
The Nomex,
Sorry.
yes.
So yes, we're not talking about base layers like when you're cold and you're throwing on smart.
That's exactly right.
No, you don't have to reveal the special sauce, but it's like a layer, and then they put gel right up in everything, right?
Everywhere, up the nose, in the ears, over the eyes. That's what makes it very hard to see. It's
so
I mean, you're layered.
You said up your nose, so does that mean you can only breathe through your mouth?
That's exactly right. That makes it very tough too.
Mm-hmm.
The whole entire stunt, I often don't talk about difficult things, but that one was a challenging, very challenging stunt.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of we really pushed the limits on it. We really pushed the limits on it. So, but I'm, when I take a job, I'm always ready to go all in. and I was ready to go all in for that one.
And and so you showed up a crispy critter because you didn't hear them say cut.
Well, on that one, Declan had to
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
loud. Evelyn, down now. Let's go. I was ready to go. Let's keep this going. I feel good right now. Yeah.
So when it comes to, being fully engulfed and having your head involved in the flame, what are the extra precautions that need to be taken because of your nose, because of your eyes, because of the breathing?
And she's wearing a hood in this one.
And you're wearing a hood. So why don't you take us through those layers as they come over your head, and like how you feel safe running out of a car, moving around, and in all honesty, you look like a guy on fire. You look like a guy who is trying to be on fire and end the scene safely. You look like someone who is just fucking on fire.
Because you
Yeah.
can't see where you're walking and
Yeah.
all that, right? So
And sometimes I'm just going to say, I'm not specifically pointing out, but some fire burns look very stiff.
Mhm.
They look like I'm supposed to do this, and then I go here, and they spray me, and it's over.
like
Right.
Frankenstein.
Like Frankenstein.
Well,
Yes.
I think
Some
that's
fire
why
burns
it's
look like Frankenstein. Your fire burned and look like
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
I think that's why it's important that stunt performers take acting classes, because a lot of it is performing. You're acting. You have to imagine that if you're on fire, you're going to be trying your hardest to survive it. So I think that's where that comes in. Is just taking some acting classes and making sure that you can perform for the camera.
Well, that's the operative word, right? It's performance. It's stunt
Yes.
performer. You're performing
Yeah.
something.
Yes, that's
If
right.
you had to, is there a way to breathe when you're on fire over your shoulders, when you're moving?
I haven't tried that. I'm always holding my breath.
So,
I know that
so
there are oxygen tanks that some people use underneath all those layers, but I chose not to use one. I
Cool.
wanted to go work on I wanted to have it as my breath hold.
Yeah.
So if you needed to, could you, let's say, you're on fire and the fire's in front, could you take 3 steps forwards, have it move behind you, try and take that quick breath? Or is there always that uh there's fire that's so hot that you can't see, and especially when it's smoldering off of an accelerant, is there that risk, and it's just like, no, you just don't breathe when you're on fire?
Right. I choose to hold my breath the entire time. I don't know how other people do it. That's my choice to do a breath hold. And there's usually still the gas smells and is strong. So I prefer to just go straight through. I know they're not going to need more than a minute, so I can handle that.
Right.
I think a breath hold is really the way to go. But you were asking me earlier about how I feel comfortable going into this,
Mm-hmm.
and coming out of a truck and being comfortable and doing that. I have to say, I feel comfortable the minute I take the job, because I knew I took the job from the right person, from the right people. And so right there and then, my worries are now in the hands of the coordinators. They've got this. So I felt comfortable the minute I took the job from Declan and Natasha, knowing that I was in good hands with them and their fire team.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point now, I'm there to do my job and they're there to do theirs. So I don't like to spend my time worrying about things when my head's supposed to be in the stunt. So I feel very comfortable the minute I took that job from them. I knew they were going to have everything prepped and everything was going to go exactly the way it was supposed to.
You trusted him. I mean,
Big
that's
time.
the biggest part of our jobs is that relationship, that trust.
That's right. And I trust
Have
them and
you
they trust me.
have you ever worked with them before?
Yes, I have. Declan and Natasha have given me wonderful opportunities driving. As you both know, I work as a stunt driver as well. They've given me wonderful driving opportunities on set. Um, they've been great. And one thing I really, really admire about them is that they give a lot of stunt performers opportunities. They want to see us all grow. When they have an opportunity for us, they want to give it to us. And I think it's wonderful. And I think they're great on set too. They're super professional,
Mm-hmm.
super kind and supportive, really good people. So it's really great that I got to do this with them and look at the success we had.
Yeah, totally. I mean, please, you can say you're an Emmy nominated performer. Not many people can say that. pretty
Thank you.
awesome.
That's pretty cool. I know it's pretty
I
cool.
mean,
I'm
we've known
still
you for
pinching
so
myself.
long. We've known you for so long. It's like so exciting. Like Paul and I were like, we have to actually do an interview. We don't want this to turn into just a chat with a buddy.
Right.
Right,
You know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right.
Because you're just so awesome. But
Thank you.
so talk about the Wakanda, the Wakanda Forever job. Like how long? Like talk about that. Like how many takes? How long did you stay under? I mean,
So
you were in
I'm
full
just gonna.
wardrobe too, which is like you're in this full wardrobe,
I
right?
gotta. Did we break it down for the audience? The scene that we're talking about, like the doula scene, like the when Black Panther, right? Is Black Panther?
Black Panther, yes.
They're going
Yeah.
back, and Black Panther is being born.
Yep.
And you are the doula, right?
And
Yes.
I do have your water reel linked in the show notes, so people can hit pause again, go watch the
Amazing.
water reel,
So this
and
is
then
like a
unpause.
huge this is a huge scene. This is the birthing of fucking Black Panther.
Very pivotal moment.
Yes, Namor.
Namor, that's
Yeah,
right.
Namor. So first, I'd like to say that Andy Gill, stunt coordinator Andy Gill, is another amazing stunt coordinators who work for. He invited me in to do some water work. I guess it got back to him that I was strong in the water. I was the right complexion. And he invited me 10 weeks before any of the water work started to do all the previs work. And he gave me so many wonderful opportunities during that time. I was there with him for about 2.5 weeks, trying on different wardrobe, letting them test the color on my, the lighting on my skin. And then it took about another 6 weeks. And I was waiting and waiting. And I thought, oh, I hope they call me back. I hope they call me back. And then finally I got the call that I was going to be working on Black Panther 2 because I really showed that I was strong in the water during that previous time. So I just wanted to mention Andy Gill because he
So
really has provided wonderful opportunities. And as far as the doula, I started off with one scene where I was the first person. So in the stunt on the stunt team, I had already proven myself as with my breath hold and being able to free dive and being strong in the water. So on this day, the coordinator, Chris Dennison, sent me down first. He says, Ev, I need you to go down. You're going to go down dynamic without a hose. Because if they've sent me with a hose, I could last a lot longer. But he goes, you're going to go down. I need you to go down dynamic. And the wardrobe's super, super heavy. So I did it. I went down, I did my duck dive. I got all the way down to about, I think it was maybe 16 feet, I want to say. And then I still had to get my feet inside the big boat prop because there was an underwater world. This was a village. I had to get my feet under the boat prop, into the boat prop. I had to set my props, calm my costume down, and then they called the other performers to come in. So I had to do all this first. Then they called the other performers in, but the other performers got brought down. They got brought down very slowly so that their hearts didn't race. Then everybody had to clear their bubbles. And I'm thinking, oh boy, when are they going to call action? Hexy, here I am, Evelyn, you got this. And so finally they called action. And then the whole scene happens. And I'm thinking to myself, Ev, you've got this, you've got this. Don't ruin the shot, Ev, don't ruin the shot. Suddenly, I see a big camera coming over to my face. You can only see so far in that cloudy water. And all of a sudden, the camera comes up to me and the camera lens is right in my face. So now I'm like, okay, Ev, you've got this. They're filming you. And I still, nothing. Suddenly, I hear on the mic, Ev, you can come up now. With a bit of a giggle, I told you the story. And when I looked up, there was nobody left in the water but me. I had been down so long that the camera guy decided, and his name is Peter Zuccarini, really great cameraman. He said, "You know what, Evelyn, you were the only one left in the water, so we decided we were going to film you." so,
It's awesome.
so from there, I ended up getting the doula. That's when Ryan Coogler, the director, said, "Evelyn is going to be our doula. She's the only one that we feel that can pull this off." So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, and the doula scene is a beautiful scene where again I got to make some acting decisions. I was I was a stunt actor on that one and for that part, and I got to make my own decisions on what a doula would do when she pulls out a newborn baby and there's sun there. Well, I'm going to hold this baby up to the sun rays, and that's going to be a beautiful shot. And they loved it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
been a really good time.
dude, it's been such a journey. I mean, when did we first met you? Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Like
10 years
how did-
ago. I think it
something
was
like
at
that.
least 10 years ago now. Yeah. And I had come back from LA trying to get into stunts in LA. And I have to thank a legend, Mike Michaels, who is not only a stunt man, but he's also uh, a, a really incredible makeup artist. So
Yeah.
he gave me my first lessons in stunt fighting in the park in LA.
But the
Yeah.
journey that you've taken over these 10 years, these last 10 years has been pretty epic. It's been
Thank
pretty
you.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm very
I mean, right,
grateful.
Paul? It's pretty incredible.
I remember. I mean, it's funny. I realized this when I was actually going through, doing research, and I was like, shit, I coordinated you.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Well, I assistant
Yeah.
coordinated you.
Yes.
But yeah, that was really funny. And my worst nemesis on that was that fucking cloak. That cloak that guy was wearing got in the way of everything.
Yeah. But I mean, dial yourself back to. I mean, did you always? Let's go back because before you got into stunts, you were doing other jobs on television. You were still doing production work and other stuff. Like, at what point did you think stunts? Like, moving from this domain of, let's say, being a presenter or on-camera personality or a producer to, I want to do stunts. Like, how did that happen?
Well, I- you know, when I was younger, when at 19 years old, I started doing commercials, and all of the commercials that I did involved some sort of high octane action. Whether I was riding a horse, I was doing horseback, jumping up of a boat, swimming, scuba diving, performing with dolphins, snowboarding. There was all kinds of things that I did. I even did wakeboarding in a commercial.
Like action sports, adventure sports type
Action
stuff.
sports. I was always an outdoor action sports girl. And so it was a natural progression to get into stunts, and performing on camera is something that I've always done since I was younger. Combine my ability to do those outdoor action sports with my water skills. Um, it all came together, and I of course have to thank Jerry Hewitt, the legendary Jerry
Mhm.
Hewitt, for having found me and said, I'm going to get you into stunts. And he did. He took me by the hand and got me into my first training. So I'm very grateful to Jerry, helped change mine and my family's life, gave me a
Sure.
wonderful opportunity. But, I feel like stunts started for me at a very young age. I actually did my very first independent film where I did my first stunt in 2018. 2018.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah. So and then my first water job, the underwater work that I did, I think that was in 2000 and maybe I got it backwards. I might have it backwards. I
It's
don't
too
know.
long to
It
remember.
all blends together.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! Wait a minute. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. I think. Oh boy, I'm getting my dates wrong. We'll have to cut that part.
That's all right. We'll look at the IMDb.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
let's
Exactly.
let's just one more thing to just dump on the fact of how awesome you are. You fucking drive too. You drive.
She does all
Thank
of it.
you.
You drive.
Thank
You do it
you.
all.
Thank you.
You are
Yes.
fire,
Driving.
land, sea,
Yeah.
air. You're like a Marine
Dude,
Navy 2.0.
Well, you've trained with her here. She can throw down too. She can throw
Mhm.
down with the best of them too.
Well, yeah, I definitely that's one thing during this interview I wanted to say, that I'm so grateful to the two of you for all the support you've always given me, for inviting me to trainings and teaching me so much, which, as you know, I will always credit you both for helping me having landed that role on John Wick. There's no doubt that if I hadn't been training with you
That's why we
and
have
learning
this.
my
Look,
falls safely and exactly, and learning throws and learning how to take them and learning how to land them, I wouldn't have been able to succeed on that audition day with 8711.
I love that. I
super
love that scene in
excited
Grand
about it.
Central, by the way. You get fucked up, but I love it.
I
So
know.
she's
I
one of
loved
the
working on that job. That
yeah,
was great.
she gets taken out in Grand Central and John Wick. That was awesome.
So
That was
thank you
such
so
a
much
great
for that.
all 3 of those guys who went down, man,
Yeah.
everyone did a great job in that
Yep.
scene. I loved it.
Thank you thank you both so much for all the support you've always given me. I appreciate it so much.
But I'm just gonna say, like, we say this a lot, like to performers, like not we, but it is said a lot that if you want to be a great performer, you have to know how to shoot. You have to know what things are like behind the camera.
Yes.
And so what I think a lot of people may not know about you is that you are an award-winning filmmaker, documentary filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
That you've done some amazing work behind the camera. Like, people think of you maybe as this badass stunt woman, but I think one of the reasons you're so good in front of the camera, aside from your talent, is that you know what it's like to be behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And your documentaries, besides making me cry like a little bitch, are so good. They are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about that. Where does your filmmaker life and your behind the camera life and your in front of the camera life, where do they intersect, or like how do they work together?
Well, most people that know me very well know that I'm sorry. I think that something just flew in the air.
One of them crickets that we hear in the back.
So most of my friends that know me well, and you guys do, know that when I am not working, I spend most of my time with my family and helping rescue animals. And my work in rescue is creating awareness campaigns so that people know what's happening
That's how I
and
got
can
my
show
doc.
support. That's right. So I've just recently completed my third full-length documentary called For Sato's Sake, which is about the animals in Puerto Rico. I also did It's a Potcake Life, which is about the animals, the struggling animals in the Bahamas.
And that's almost 10 years ago. Was it 2016 you
That's
did
right.
that? Yeah.
That's right. So I continue that work. It's what I love. It's my expensive hobby because other than trying to sell tickets at a theater show that I might do with one of the documentaries, I'm fully self-funded. And sometimes somebody will give a donation, but usually it's not enough to carry me.
Yeah. We'll put the links in the show notes for the trailers and whatnot. Is Potcake's life available for people to see anywhere?
It is. It's right on YouTube. I want the world to
Great.
see it. So it's right there. Just if you can just Google search It's a Potcake Life and it'll show right up.
Oh, good. We'll put
And
the link
so
in
will
the show
another
notes.
one
Awesome.
called Circle of Strength. I have Circle of Strength up there as well. And for Sato Psych right now is not published yet, but it will be soon.
No, because you were doing the festivals and stuff, so it's a little early for people to see that one. I saw
Right.
a cut of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, I was crying like a little baby.
Well, animals are very special. We're their only voice.
That
We're
is
their only
so true.
voice. That's the way it is.
Yep. So what do you got coming up? You're always jetting around all over the place. It's hard to keep up with you. I know you're down training, driving, you're doing this, you're down to Atlanta, you're back up to New York, you're all over the place. Like, what do you got coming up?
Well, fortunately, I just got a call from a stunt coordinator in New York,
Oh,
and
nice.
it looks like I make a really good double for one of the actresses, and it's a lot of driving. So I'm really excited about that. I've been working very, very hard on my driving for a long time now. I feel very comfortable on set doing, some of the bigger things now, just and not just going from point A to point B.
Right.
And it's
And
been,
we
yeah.
won't mention the production, but you just did a crash. Is that your first crash?
Oh, no, that's
No,
not my
no.
first
Okay.
crash.
I didn't know.
I've done a couple of crashes and love them. For this one, I actually got hit.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got hit. And I'll tell you what, you feel it. You feel it. You feel it. But it worked out great. I did a great job for them. They were super happy. Got a hug from the coordinators. And you know what? That's a great day to me.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
when you do a car hit,
You mean getting hit in a
when you get hit in a car, just in general, when a car hit happens, I'm sure the audience would like to know is what goes into a car hit. What do you have to do before? How is the car set up to where if they need to do a reset and do it again? how does the car actually play a part as opposed to the driver, in the reset, in the damage, and all of these things? I think they'd probably like to know that.
Okay, so I mean, so you're talking about when two cars crash, not when I did a bodily, like I did
Yeah,
my
not a
car
car,
hit.
Right,
not
two
not a
cars.
car
Okay,
hit with
because I did do one of those.
Yeah.
Well, it's important, first of all, for all drivers to be skilled at what they do. A lot of times people think, oh, I just got to drive point A to point B. I just got to go this way and I've got to do like, oh, what you want me to do, like 25 miles an hour? No problem. I do that every day. A lot of it is timing. Well, a good portion of it is timing. And everyone has to know where their one is. You got to make sure that you're not a hair off that one. You got to go back to your one and start at your one. You have to be very consistent. So, if the first one doesn't work out, we all go back. Usually we reverse back to one.
So for the listener, a 1 is just your starting mark.
That's exactly right.
So people know what
Thank
you're
you for
talking
that.
about. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And then you get a couple of notes from the coordinators.
So
and you
here's my
give it a
question.
go.
When there's a crash, how do you go back to your one after the car's fucked up?
So usually a crash, if the car is not completely, damaged in total, that's it. You've done it. But
Right.
if it's a crash where, so sometimes they'll say, hey, Ev, you can only hit on this side because we need to still show that. If we need to do this again, we need to show that side, the other side to, to the camera. So don't damage this part. You can damage this part, because we might need to do it again. So you just reverse and go again.
It's not like wardrobe where, you can, they could have 5 sets of wardrobe so you can do the gag 5 times. It's not like they have 5 cars.
So what I'm trying to get at is
sometimes they'll have about 3 cars. They can do that.
Is that a lot of the time they're looking for, when they shoot the actual crash, they're looking for one and done?
I can't speak for every production because other productions have bigger budgets.
Mhm.
They have different storylines.
Sure.
So I can't really speak for all of them, but what I can say is that if you can get it done in one, I'll tell you what, you might get
They're gonna
invited
love
back
you.
to the next
Right.
job.
Right.
Especially if they had a
I
couple
got
more
mine
cars
done
waiting,
yesterday in
right?
one. Yes.
That's good because then they can save those other cars they had waiting in the wings, like we didn't damage those.
Mhm.
Sure.
And it's
sure.
less time spent on set. We can move on. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's a
That's
good time.
cool.
Oh, I remember now. I remember. I did my first water stunt in 2011.
Oh,
And it
wow.
aired in 2012. And then I did my first independent film where I did my own stunts. I was quite young. That was in 2008.
Oh, wow. Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, so I've been at this trying to get into the business for a little while now, and but I understand completely why it takes a little while to get in because as
Sure.
we know, we want people to be safe, and most coordinators know that they can't just let anybody in. Everyone has to have a good head on their shoulders and be serious and take work very seriously because we
Sure.
all have each other's backs and we have to take care of each other. And so I understand why it takes a little while to get into the business, and I like it that way.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the listeners, if you go back, if you haven't listened to our last episode 2 weeks ago with Anthony Hong, we talked about how this business is a marathon.
Mhm.
And you might get into the business for let's say a water skill, or for, in my case, like fights, or Paul's case, like fights, and then you don't get
I was going to say sometimes it's a triathlon.
yeah, but then you don't
Yeah,
get a fight job for like 3 years. You got to pay your dues, and it takes time, and it takes
sure.
time, and then coordinators have to learn to trust you, and you have to build up all the skills you need to build up, the set skills and all that other stuff. So
Yes,
it's like so cool that you're literally the story you're sharing is like an example of this, that it's a marathon. It doesn't happen right away. There's a lot of downtimes.
that's right. That's exactly right.
Especially when it's what you're an expert at.
Mhm.
Let's just say what 10 years, give or take, and maybe 9. I've been in the industry.
Mhm.
I've been hired once, all in the same job, to train and choreograph like a Krav Maga style fight.
Mhm.
Once, one,
And that's so surprising.
and that's even surprising that I was able to get that.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Well, it's surprising that you're not used more because everybody knows you're the Krav Maga king in New York. It's true.
What
I know.
what do you do? What do you do, Evelyn? Because there are, as you know, there is like highs and lows of this business. There's periods where you're working a lot, then all of a sudden it's like dead air. Like you're not working at all. Like what do you do? What's your life outside of this life?
I love to spend time in Vermont. I'm a country girl at heart, so I spend a lot of time on the lake, spending time in the water, going out to the ocean, swimming in the lakes and the rivers.
Having an awesome husband helps.
Yeah. And
Shout out
also,
to Jay.
Shout out to Jay. We love you, buddy.
yes. And I also do love to train. I spend a lot of time at the track. I spend a lot of time training. I do have my stunt cars, my stunt training cars. And if I have a job coming up, especially if I have a job coming up that's quite challenging in a car, I'll go to the track and I'll go to my mentor. Shout out to Kevin Waterman, who has been an incredible driving mentor for me. He's so supportive and has really helped me grow as a driver. I'll go to him and I'll say, "Hey, I need this kind of car. I'd like to try this with you. I'd like to work on this." I'll spend my entire paycheck making sure that I show up to set ready to do the job. I won't care about the money. I want to make sure when I show up, I'm going to nail this job. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to keep everybody safe. So I'll do what I have to do in training.
Well, that leads to more jobs, right? I mean, that's really what
Oh,
it does. You go and kill it,
absolutely.
and it leads to more work.
Well, that's why
Absolutely.
when we were at our first workshop, someone said, you're only as good as your last job. And I looked at Steve afterwards and I was like, that's ridiculous. I've never worked in this industry and I know you're only as bad as your last fuck up.
Yeah, true.
No one remembers you doing your job because that's what you're supposed to do. But when you don't do your job, that's when people remember you. So I'm like, you're only as bad as your last fuck up. Doing your job is doing your job.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Making everybody else's life easier to do your job.
Always go prepared. Always go prepared. And coordinators like Rob Mars, he hires me to do a lot of, brawling type fights, which is something that I love to do.
You bring in the Bronx. You bring in the Bronx, to Atlanta.
Yeah, so you have to train for that too.
Yeah.
You have to train for that too. There's times when you're working with actors and you have to make sure that you're not going to hit them. You're going to be very gentle with them, but you're going to make it look hard. You're going to make it look like it hurts.
What do you do when the actor says, "Go ahead, let me have it"?
Well, it's not that often. It's not that often that you
No,
get
but
that.
there are some actors fancy themselves the
when I was on the
tough
Walking Dead,
guys.
when I was on The Walking Dead and I was grabbing Kim Coates and holding him for Jeffrey Dean Morgan to shove the hose down his throat, no pun intended. He kept on telling me, he's like, dude, he goes, you can fucking, he's like, you can be rough with me. He's like, I really, really appreciate it. And then, but sometimes in your head, you're like,
but can I really?
But do you have any idea how rough I can fucking get? Like,
yeah.
Like you have no idea what I do or who I am. Like saying that is.
Well, I heard, I mean, we heard a story about some performers here in New York where the lead actor was getting really rough with them. And
I'm pretty sure I worked with that lead actor too.
Yeah, and
I'm pretty sure.
and they after to shorten the story, after some takes, they gave it back. They gave it back to him.
Threw it back to him. He was being very aggressive.
Yeah. And it kind of calmed him down after that, though, from what I hear. But
Sure.
But my point is that it's delicate when you're working with the lead or the one or the number two, that you also, part of your responsibility is to the production, right? So even if the actor's like, go ahead, let me have it, blah, 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 but the back of your head is like, dude, you're like the one.
I would also say that when it comes to working with people and us being coaches and whatever, it's all about how that number one feels comfortable with you. So you could do something to a number one and they'll go to the director and been like, get this fucking guy away from me. But his stunt double that he works with all the time could do the exact same thing and he's totally good with it. So you really, really have to I guess, understand how to toe that line.
Well, yeah, it goes back to the relationship. I mean,
And it's
because
all about it's all about the relationship.
I mean, are you a day player that they've never met before? Or are you on the run of the show and they have a relationship with you? There's all these factors, that come into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's the have you ever come into a circumstance of where the coordinator is saying more and the person you're working with is saying less? You don't have to name specifics, but
The coordinator's saying more, and
the coordinator is like, I want more out of you. I want you to give them more. And then the person is kind of coming to you on the side and being like, I need you to fucking not.
Oh, yeah, no, I've never had that.
To
I've
where you
never
kind
had
of get
that.
like contradicting from
Right.
both sides.
Well, I have had I've had some actresses that felt more comfortable speaking with me, just female to female.
Mhm.
And the coordinators have all been great with that. I would go quietly. I always talk in private and let the coordinator know that the actress is, I see that she's leaning towards me a lot, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing what you'd like me to do. And their first reaction is, I want the actress to feel comfortable. I want her to do what she's got to do. If she's communicating with you, great. You guys talk it out. If there's any question of anything, you come back, but I'm going to sit right here because I'm liking what I'm seeing. So, but there's a fine line with that too. You always have to make sure that you find the right balance with that. But that has happened. That's happened quite a few times.
But I think the key is like what you said. If you voice it in a respectful way, take people aside, do it in private, so nobody's embarrassed, nobody's put on the spot. There's nothing like that,
No.
then and no egos are bruised, right?
No, exactly.
Then usually should be okay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Is there a common ground between fire and water that you find, or are they complete opposites?
They're both quite dangerous.
Okay.
Water is very dangerous. Things can happen very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. I've actually helped save a stunt performer's life in a scene. I, as you know, as you both know, we also rescued a gentleman in the lake and his dog, and we helped him survive a drowning. I always make sure that I, um, do my lifeguard certification every 2 years, along with my CPR and AED, which I was able to do at your studio. So grateful for that as well. Fire is also extremely dangerous. If you can get caught, you can get a bad burn. So that's what I would when I'm thinking about fire and water. I'm thinking two very, very, very challenging and difficult and risky stunts.
Actually, I have a quick question. When it comes to the I feel like when you're underwater, the immediate danger, where is the greater factor of immediate danger fire or immediate danger underwater, and then the kind of the risks of not being able to handle that immediately? Like when someone's, when you're underwater, let's just say you're doing a scene and they're breathing and they have oxygen, and then they can, you got to tell them that they can't come up too fast, as opposed to when they're holding their breath and they can just shoot right up, and all of these different things. So I guess dynamically, what is I don't know, what is more dangerous, what is more at risk for immediate oh shit?
Between fire and water?
Yeah.
Are you asking what is the like if
So
you were
so
if you
so
were to
something
do
goes
a
wrong.
rest
So
if you were
I guess if you were to do a rescue with fire, it's very simple. Put it the fuck out in general, right? Fire, put it out. Put out the fire.
Right.
Underwater, if something goes wrong, you can't necessarily rush someone to the top to get them air, because that could do more damage. Yes.
That's correct.
So I guess this is kind of what I'm trying to get at is where, what would you think more has an immediate danger? What's the greater factor? What do you think is worse?
Ooh, yeah, that's really, really difficult to answer. I'll be honest with you, Paul. Both can be life-threatening
Mhm.
situations. And I don't think
Sure.
either one of is more life-threatening than the other. That's a hard one for me.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
that
both.
might be more of like a question for Chris Barnes or something.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way: which would you rather not be caught in?
Well, I feel.
Again,
Yeah, I mean,
super. I guess drowning. They say drowning can be pretty peaceful, so I would probably take that one.
Fuck, I never thought about it that way. I'd rather drown and burn to death too. I agree.
I maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like what are you asking is that there seems to be like in a rescue situation, there's more moving parts in a something that's underwater.
Yes.
Whereas there's additional risk factors, right? As opposed to like
let's just say when it comes to putting out a fire, they're outside of having knowledge of throwing an accelerant onto a fire, oxygen, this, that, whatever, all the little things that could make a fire ignite. It's very basic. Put the fire out. Right. But when someone is drowning or underwater and you put in air and they're breathing underneath, your brain is like, yes, get them above the water, but that process can make it worse.
Well, there's more of a rescue process, is what I think you're saying.
There are more steps that come to getting someone out of a water than putting out a fire, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Sure. Yeah. You may have to resuscitate them both in both situations, though. You could have to
for sure.
You're not sure.
You also
it
couldn't
depends.
give someone the bends by putting them out from a fire.
No, but
right?
they could.
No.
People could go into cardiac arrest from fire or any of that stuff. You know,
Yes.
I mean, there's any number of things that could happen.
Lungs
They
can
breathe
collapse
in.
from the breathing in of the fumes.
Yeah, they
So
could
there's
breathe in the fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Both are
I mean,
pretty
in
risky.
the end, it comes down to what you were saying is that they're both, if gone wrong, both very dangerous. So the prep is just super important.
The prep is super important. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So great.
Did you just say you were about to say something, Paul?
No.
I heard a breath. Maybe it was you.
There was something I wanted to mention something. I forgot what it was. Oh,
I heard
forget
that.
it.
Like, I'm about to say something, breath. But we're almost at an hour anyway.
We are.
Yeah.
That was quick.
So great. So much fun.
Final thoughts before you embark back on your journey.
And what have you got coming up?
Yeah, well, I've been working on Outer Banks, which is a really high octane action show.
Oh, yeah, you've been on that show before, so you're back on it.
Yes, I get to do a lot of water work on there. I get to do a lot of driving, falls.
Dude,
It's
that one
been pretty
gag
exciting.
where you jumped off the ship, jumped off the barge.
That was a big one. That was a real big one. That was pretty big. And the footage that I showed in the video was when we were at the harbor, but they actually had us do the same exact thing in the middle of the ocean with some huge, massive waves, and the ship was doing this kind of thing,
It was just lurching, right?
And you had to run off the ship at the certain right time.
Yeah, otherwise you're jumping a hell of a lot farther than you need to.
No, you hit the bottom deck and you're out like a light, and then you fall into the water, and that's
because
it.
if you jump when the ship is dropping, you're going to land on the ship.
That's right. That was another very difficult one, but we managed. And I had just done a car hit 3 days before that, so I did a car hit and went straight onto the ship and did that one.
So
that's a high octane action show for sure.
What would you rather do? Would you rather jump off of something and land on mats, airbag, or water?
Water for sure every time. I'm a mermaid.
She's a mermaid. Look at her. That's it.
Yeah, water for sure every time. I know how to land in water safely. I can land in a bag safely. I've landed on boxes. I've landed on bags, but I'm just really, really, really super comfortable in the water, and usually at most heights.
Are you a Pisces? What's your sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. There you go.
Oh, Aquarius.
Yes.
Age of Aquarius.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
I've just got ABBA in my head now.
What? Oh, ABBA.
So final thoughts. Let's see. What could be a final thought?
I just wanted to thank you for coming on. This is and taking the time and pulling over and finding a spot at the stadium there with
there's no way I was going to miss this with you guys. No way. Absolutely not. I'm so stoked. You guys are two of my favorite people, not only in the business, but on earth. So I'm really excited to be here. And thank you. It's an honor that you asked me to be on your show.
No,
we were glad you came on.
Look, we would be pals even if we weren't in the stunt business,
right?
For sure.
That's exactly. That's how you know you're friends. That's great.
Totally.
I'm like, if not you, I'd definitely be friends with your husband.
Yay! And guess what? Guess what's so cool? Oktoberfest is today, and
is it?
Yeah, I try to have my beer here with me, but I couldn't. But yeah, Oktoberfest is happening today. So, cheers to you guys right there with your beers and
Cool.
Oktoberfest. It's
Cheers.
October.
And then when it'll actually be December when this airs. So everybody get ready. If you haven't figured out what you're buying me for Christmas, you better figure it out.
And now you know why. And now you know why it looks nice behind Evelyn.
Yay! I know, it's so great. I'm over here at the Gillette Stadium. Go
enjoy the Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for coming
on. Thank you.
Best.
Let's get some fights in there, guys. Come on, I'm ready. Come on, let's do it.
Yo, we're having the open training and the mixer and the movie night. It's in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not rescuing animals, I'll be there.
If you're not doing cool shit somewhere.
The most Evelyn thing ever said.
I know, right?
I'm not rescuing animals. I'll be there.
That's it. Love you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Film Fights with Friends is produced by Stephen Kepfer, Paul Veracci, Press Record Studios, and Breakfall Studios. This episode was engineered by Matthew Kaplowitz. This show is powered by our supporters at Patreon and is a registered trademark of Film Fights with Friends, LLC. Original theme by Aru Luster.